Find a way down there, but proceed with caution.
Hostile!
Damn it!
Opening fire! Got a hostile! Get pinned down! Mobilize!
Got a visual on additional hostiles in the...
Got you! Yeah. Don't give up, agent!
Grenade out!
The pain should pass.
What's up guys, Patrick Wolf here, welcome to another Division 2 build video. Today's video is going to be the Big Game Hunter Assault Rifle build. Perfect with the exotic rifle or assault rifle, the Bighorn, which is obtainable by completing legendary missions and killing the final boss. Now there's real rumors going around where you can get this weapon in the Summit game mode, a special event. I cannot confirm whether or not that's true. Maybe someone in the comments can clarify on that one. But this weapon is, has received a significant buff in TU12. The magazine size has been increased significantly, and I wanted to make a build for you guys, to showcase how I would run this weapon. Now, this is actually quite overpowered, if you ask me. I can kill heroic NPCs with 3 bullets of the normal automatic firing mode of this weapon, over 11 million a shot with the selective fire, and you can absolutely just one-tap any NPC with the normal assault rifle mode, which seems crazy strong, but it's very fun to use, and you will definitely enjoy this one. Now, weapon handling is something that you need to stack on this build. I do not recommend using the chest piece talent for this because I'm going to showcase why the one I'm using is so good. Now, what I would do is roll weapon handling on the rolls because we don't want to spec into crit damage or crit chance at all, because if you want a crit damage build, this weapon is not the one for you. It's better off speccing headshot damage. It scales better. A normal in-sync G36, for example, will do a bit more damage to the body critting than this weapon will ever do, so you would need to kind of hit your headshots. Now, it's not as hard as it seems, because if NPCs are far away from you, you put the selective zoomed in mode. If they're close, the automatic firing mode, and with the combination of the specialization perk that we have and a bit of weapon handling, if you're on console, you should not have a problem. So let's go through this now. Specialization is going to be gunner. Reason being is because we get extra rate of fire, 5% on kill for 5 seconds, which is really good. We generate some ammo. We also get 10% weapon handling while not moving, need to be motionless for 1 second, works incredibly well. Also, assault rifle damage needs to be activated for this. We also get armor on kill. Just make sure everything else is activated. Also, every third reload is 50% faster. That's also quite good. Then we have this beautiful armor kit, which is really good. It's not the best in the game, probably the second best I would say, but it's quite strong. So make sure you utilize this. You don't have to use the specialization. I would recommend using it because of the weapon handling and things like that, but it's completely up to you. So let's go through this build now. Hopefully you got a bit of an explanation in the beginning, but this is how it's going to work. So we are using this Bighorn. So like I said before, legendary missions, it's quite difficult to get this weapon. Hopefully you guys have got it because I have stated in the past on acquiring this as soon as you can. So we're going to be utilizing this with all headshot damage, and let's just take a look at the Bighorn itself. So this gun is quite strong. It's got crit damage rolled as the attribute, which is strange. Now you would think to yourself, well, that means we need to roll crit damage on our build, go for crit chance. That's not the case really. You can do that, but the way I've spec'd it is completely fresh and different, and I'll explain how it works later on. So normally what I would say is roll braced on the chest piece and get your weapon handling, but it turns out that chain killer with perfect headhunter is so strong with this weapon. It allows you to stack it up, because if we combine this with concussion, it works so well together. When you get a headshot kill with concussion, now normally it's difficult to get a one tap because you would need to get a one tap to activate headhunter. So you actually need to kill an enemy with a headshot. Your next weapon hit will have the buff, but because we use concussion, it gives us increased damage, which is pretty much equal to that of vigilance, because this is how it works. So headshots increase total weapon damage by 10% for 1.5 seconds with any gun and 5 seconds with marksman rifles. So headshot kills increase total weapon damage by 15%. That's going to be 25% damage for 10 seconds. So that will help us get that initial damage to proc this beautiful chest piece talent, and because of all the headshot damage we have, that's how we activate it, and it works so incredibly well. Let's just carry on going through the way I was going. So we have Big Game Hunter. When scoped, switches to semi-automatic fire mode, dealing 450% weapon damage for each shot. This is going to help us proc the chest piece talent. Headshots grant 2% headshot damage, stacks up to 50 times. That's a huge amount of headshot damage that we are getting. Now remember that the chest piece talent actually caps the damage output of the gun. But here's the thing, is that you can have more blues in your weapon because the weapon damage is going to be scaling differently. It can get quite complicated, but I wouldn't worry. Just go in the testing range and just see whether or not it helps having more headshot damage or less headshot damage. But as long as you have above 150%, it's quite nice. So headshots grant plus 2% headshot damage, stacks up to 50 times. Once at full stacks, 10 stacks decay every 4 seconds until all stacks have been removed. Headshots delay decaying of stacks. Because we are focused on hitting headshots, this is just going to work really well with us. So what I do is I stack this with the with the automatic mode, and then move to semi when you have your stacks up, and you can dish out a lot of damage. But because we have the chest piece talent, we're only gaining about 1 million damage, which is quite a lot per shot, to be honest, because I have about 7 million if we're just shooting without getting a kill. No kills, no chest piece talent procs. And then when we actually get up to 40 stacks, what happens is, or 50 stacks, that increases it by 1 million, and that's because of the buffing of the chest piece talent. So it kind of keeps us up there. So even if you're not stacking this, you will still be getting a lot of damage. So this is good for any kind of build, but with this build we're using now, it's not actually that important because we are getting so much headshot damage from the chest piece talent, which is capped. Just remember that. So this is going to help us a lot. So let's go through each individual piece. Now, the secondary weapon in the pistol, it's really up to you. It does not matter whatsoever. If we look at how this gun is modified, it's got headshot damage in the scope, which is nice, but that only works when you're scoped in. But no, actually it does. It works both ways. So if you're doing the normal assault rifle mode or the selective fire, it does actually count. So that's really, really good. And we have accuracy, which is nice, and stability. Very, very good. I'd rather be weapon handling on 2 mods, but hey, we can't be too fussy. 1.1 million armor, that's actually quite strong. I like the way that I've set this up. Now, we have not spec'd into crit damage whatsoever. Some of my pieces will have crit damage and crit chance on. That's just because I don't have the right pieces. What I would say is to roll on every single piece headshot damage and weapon handling. But hey, I can't be too fussy. So all of my modifications are going to be headshot damage mods. Just put them. Don't worry about crit chance or crit damage. Like I said, this build scales way better with just headshots because... Let's explain this now. So 60% of your bullets would normally crit. Now, if we compare my non-crits and my crits with the headshots, with regards to headshots, it's only a small difference because our base armor damage values and weapon damage values are so high, and because our headshots keep stacking so incredibly up there, that it mitigates not having crit damage. So you'll see what I mean. You actually hit really good numbers even though you're not critting, and it's 100% of your bullets. So that's why I've gone for that. 100% of your bullets will be dishing out good headshot damage rather than just focusing on, you know, critting on the NPC's head. So we have got the Fenris one piece for the assault rifle damage. Then we got the 2 Walker and Harris for weapon damage and damage to armor, which is very important, very nice. Then extra headshot damage from the Providence. You can see a pattern here. Then more armor damage from Contractor's Gloves, and then damage targets out of cover with Fox's Prayer. So we're stacking just base value damage all round. So we've got the Fenris. I've got a armor value 1.1 million armor. Is a decent amount considering that we hit so hard. And that's the nice thing about this build, is you can actually, you know, be a lot tankier because of the chest piece talent. But when you don't use Headhunter and you use something like Obliterate maxed out, which would not work on this build, by the way, I hit about 2 million a shot, whereas with this I hit 11, so it's really, really strong. So the chest piece, I've gone for headshot damage. Obviously, I'd rather have weapon handling, otherwise we'd be dishing out, you know, a lot more damage from ranges. But like I said, this is not an issue, because when the NPC is close to you, you fully automatic mode and you blitz them down. Even with a little bit of weapon handling that you might have, it'll rinse them. Then when they're a bit further away, just put your selective fire mode on, and it's easy to hit your shots from range because it's just, there's no recoil at all, and the accuracy is perfect. Now, just a quick little mention, Braced, the chest piece talent that gives you weapon handling. I don't recommend using it because, like I said, you just need to roll it on every piece if you can. You don't need it, guys. I don't recommend that. Normally, you know, you can do it if you want, but I really recommend using this talent. It just makes it so much fun to use this build, and proccing it is quite easy. Then the holster, weapon handling, this is perfect. This piece is absolutely perfect. What you see here is what I would want on every single piece. Maybe, you know, the chance of you putting a blue as well whenever you want is also a plus. Then with the backpack, like I said, all headshot damage mods. Concussion, very, very nice. We've explained how that works. We get headshot kills, increased total weapon damage by 15%. That stacks on top of the initial damage, which is really good. Vigilance is something I would rather use in PvP, but this is just, it just works because, you know, even if you're taking damage, you still get the procs, and it lasts for 10 seconds. So you can use Vigilance, but this just scales better with the headshots. For some reason, I hit more damage. Okay, so let's go through the gloves. Contractors, you guys know this. This is quite simple. Damaged armor crit chance is, I should take that away and put weapon handling or headshot damage. Then, because the armor damage is quite strong, I think our armor damage should be over 20%. Oh, no, it's not. It's only 13%, but it kind of goes well with the health damage as well. So let's go over the knee pads. We've got crit chance, which is unfortunate. I don't have very good Fox's Prayer, but like I said, headshot damage or weapon handling. DTC 8%, very nice. That is going to scale a lot, very well with the headshots. So statistics, we can go through it, but like I said before, these stats don't really mean much. My crit chance is too high, 160% headshot damage, which is important because we need to have at least 150%, which is what it says here. So after killing an enemy with a headshot, your next weapon hit within 30 seconds deals an additional 150% of the killing blow's damage. Damage is capped to 800%. So it works with weapon damage. So if you guys want to, you can put more blues on your build and actually hit the same numbers. It's quite strange, but you need to try and gauge it yourself. It depends on what pieces you actually have. Damage is capped to 800% of weapon damage. This is raised to 1250 if your headshot damage is greater than 150. So I haven't really scaled it too well. Like I said, I just put this build together recently, but I found it to be so strong. What you can do is what I always say about this chest piece talent, and I'm going to say this very slowly and make myself very clear. You can have 6 reds, okay, and hit 10 million damage. You can have 5 reds and hit 10 million damage, and then you could have 4 reds and then hit 6 million damage. The way that it scales is that if you're capping out your damage, there's no point in having more reds. So this build I have right now, it's possible that I could even put another blue. We can even try that maybe and see what happens in the firing range. But like I said, I'm sure you guys understand how this works. Let me go through it again. So we're going to be in cover, rushing NPCs. Now, when I put my selective fire mode on, that's going to be from range. We want to be getting the one-shot kills. So what happens is, normally it's a 2-shot to a red bar the first time I fire my weapon. Once you get that the 2-shot and then you kill that NPC, concussion procs and headhunter procs, which means we get huge amounts of damage and we will one-shot even a purple armored in heroic the next shot. And then because we've headshotted him, we go to the golden NPC and then we headshot him as well. So what I can do is showcase that to you guys right now. So we're going to move into the firing range where I can explain this a bit more in detail. So it is currently on heroic, but the main focus of this is to show you guys the damage cap on the chest piece and that we are not actually reaching that cap. So it's only going to be on easy. I want to demonstrate what happens when we proc Headhunter. So just remember, we do have over 150% headshot damage, which is a requirement. We have got 188. So the chest piece talent gives us a maxed out weapon damage total. Remember that? Weapon damage, 1250%. So sometimes putting more weapon damage on your build doesn't help. So right now, it turns out if I put another blue on my build, it means I'm losing. I only hit about 8 million a shot as opposed to 10, 11. So if I put another red, it might not scale that well because of the cap. But the way I have it now is ideal. Like I said, you must try and test it for yourself. So what we're going to do now is showcase the damage buff from the Bighorn that actually it stacks on top of the cap of the chest piece talent. So this gives us headshot damage. So obviously the weapon damage from the semi-automatic firing mode is a separate entity. It doesn't count towards the chest piece talent, which I thought it would, but it doesn't. We still get increased damage, and I will showcase that now. Also, with the backpack, this says weapon damage, okay? But even though we have the way that we spec'd it into, it could be because I have 2 blues, but we are not taking over that cap, so which means we are still getting an increase in damage. So I think we have found the sweet spot with the armor values and the weapon damage amount. So headshots increase total weapon damage by 10%. So you will see this when I'm firing the weapon, and then once I get the 10-second buff, that stacks on top for 25% weapon damage, which you would think would completely be gone because of the chest piece. Let's have a look and see if we can test it. So with Headhunter, this is how it's going to work. So we have got 0 stacks currently on the weapon itself. So if we shoot right here, as you can see, we get the second shot, which is 2 million damage. Now we have got the headshot multiplier on. So what I'm going to do is just kill all of these ads. And now, as you can see, we have got full Headhunter. So now you can see the little head icon. That shows that we have got the buff and it's about to run out. Headhunter lasts for 30 seconds. The buff is now gone. That was 9.4 million, and then with the buff, 11.1 million. So you can see that from the backpack talent, we are getting that increased damage. So with the buff again, 11.1 million, which means it is working correctly. Then we're going to wait for you see the little skull picture? Once that goes away, that means we're losing that 25% weapon damage, and you can see how much of a difference it makes. It's gone way down, over 1 million damage. And then when it's up, it's 11. So we are getting over 1 million damage a shot, which is very, very good. So now what we can do is we can showcase everything together with the buff from the actual, this over here. Let me showcase it quickly. I can't remember the name. The Bighorn Big Game Hunter buff that we get. So we're going to be stacking this up, and this will give us headshot damage 2% up to 50 times. So let's have a look at this right now. So let's just get our stacks up as high as we possibly can. So this is something that you would do from close range to the ads. So let's just get a bit of stacks going here. 1 more kills should be enough. You can see, even from range, you can still beam. Alright, even though I'm on PC, I know. So let's have a look and see. We'll just get everything activated again. 1 more shot and we should have it. That's not the full buff yet. That's the full buff. Now let's have a look. As you can see, we hit 12 mil. That's 12 million. So we are getting that increased damage that, from all the elements of the build. And I'm glad I could showcase this to you guys. You need to go and test this out for yourself and, write down the numbers. Normally, I'm not a numbers kind of guy. I don't believe in numbers in this game. But as you can see, it doesn't lie. It showcases that we are still getting the increase up to 12 million a shot from this gun, which is just really good. And the fact of the matter is even if you're doing something like this, and then you put to your automatic firing mode, and then 1 shot is over 8 million. That's 4 bullets of a normal assault rifle to kill a heroic golden NPC. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Follow me on my second channel for Cyberpunk 2077. Link will be in the description, and my Twitch. And with that being said, I will see everyone in the next video. Peace out, guys.